Every time someone mentions ETFs that can make you rich, the same ticker pops up, SCHD. But today, I want to step away from the usual suspects. If you're like me, you want growth, opportunity, and maybe a little excitement in your portfolio heading into 2025. Here are 5 ETFs that I believe could change the game for investors this year. And no, SCHD isn't on the list. ETFs provide a unique blend of diversification and dynamic growth potential. Let's dive into these exciting options. Ready to discover these transformative ETFs? Get your portfolio ready for a refreshing change. I've got to start with QQQ. You're probably thinking, is QQQ already one of the most popular ETFs? Yes, that's the point. QQQ gives you exposure to the NASDAQ 100, which means you're buying into the backbone of tech innovation. Companies like Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Nvidia, and Meta are shaping both the stock market and our daily lives. QQQ has consistently outperformed the S&P 500 over the past decade, especially with tech innovations booming. It offers more upside potential, although it's more volatile than broad market ETFs like VU or SPY. QQQ is heavily traded, offering liquidity, tight spreads, and transparency. I can sleep at night knowing exactly what I own. If you want growth in 2025, QQQ is practically a cheat code. If QQQ is the all-star team, VGT is like doubling down on the MVPs. It's Vanguard's information technology ETF, focused purely on tech. VGT trims the fat and goes straight for pure technology. Think Apple, Microsoft, Visa, Broadcom, and Nvidia. Tech isn't just a sector anymore. It's the foundation of every other sector. Finance, healthcare, retail, and even your car rely on tech. As demand for semiconductors, cloud infrastructure, and digital payments grows, so does the upside for VGT's companies. VGT naturally tilts toward innovation, adjusting with market cap weighting. I ride the wave of the strongest performers. VGT is concentrated and can be volatile. If I believe in AI, cloud computing, and digital transformation, I want maximum exposure. With a low expense ratio of just 0.10%, VGT is a growth accelerator. Not for comfort, but for conviction. Okay, let's switch gears for a second. Because it's not just tech that's going to define 2025. It's energy, and more specifically, clean energy. This ETF gives you exposure to a basket of global clean energy companies, covering everything from solar and wind to hydro and storage. Governments are tightening climate targets, pouring money into green infrastructure, and subsidizing renewable adoption at scale. Even big oil companies are diverting billions into renewables. Clean energy isn't a fad, it's the inevitable future. ICLN gives me exposure to major clean energy leaders like Enphase Energy, Vestas Wind Systems, and Plug Power. Clean energy stocks are volatile, but I see that volatility as opportunity. Pullbacks are just hidden entry points. With climate policy heating up for 2025, I think ETFs like ICLN could be poised for a breakout year. VNQ, the Vanguard Real Estate ETF. Real estate is quietly building wealth the old-fashioned way, through income and stability. VNQ invests in REITs, buying into companies that own and operate properties like office buildings and warehouses. These REITs have to return at least 90% of their taxable income to shareholders as dividends. Steady cash flow, even in choppy markets. Why 2025? REITs are set for a rebound. Interest rates stabilize, inflation cools, and valuations adjust. VNQ could capture appreciation and keep delivering those juicy yields at the same time. Real estate isn't what it used to be. It's not just about malls and office towers anymore. VNQ gives me exposure to modern infrastructure, logistics centers, healthcare facilities, cell towers, and data centers. These aren't just buildings. They're critical assets in a digital-first world. VNQ isn't going to shoot up like Nvidia after an AI boom. It's not built for explosive returns. I own VNQ because it's ballast, balancing my portfolio with income-producing assets that historically beat inflation. Real estate might not sound flashy, but VNQ quietly builds your wealth in the background. Slow, steady, reliable. Now, I know this one's controversial. Cathie Wood's flagship ETF has had some insane highs and some brutal lows. Disruption never moves in a straight line. It's messy, it's unpredictable, and that's exactly why ARKK is so fascinating heading into 2025. We're talking genomics, fintech, artificial intelligence, robotics, and next-gen internet. Inside the fund, you'll find names like Tesla, Roku, Block, Coinbase, and a whole list of companies that split investors right down the middle. If just a few of these bets play out the way Cathie Wood envisions, the payoff could be massive. RK is volatile, no doubt about it. It's the kind of ETF that can fall 10% in a week and then rally 20% the next. If even 2 or 3 of these themes really catch fire, ARK stands to benefit in a big way. I don't put my life savings into ARK-K. That would be reckless. But as a satellite position, it's worth it. You need that moonshot exposure, that slice of your investments with potential to explode. RKK offers asymmetric upside. It's about whether 1 or 2 companies become giants. If that happens, the payoff outweighs the volatility. Here are my 5 ETFs for 2025: QQQ, VGT, ICLN, VNQ, and ARK. Each has its own risk and flavor. Pick the ones that match your risk tolerance, timeline, and conviction. Wealth is built on strategy and patience. If you got value from this, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Which ETF are you most bullish on for 2025?